Guys, hello, thank you for watching everyone. This is my Lancia Delta Integrale 8 valve. Got it, made sure it runs. It's been sat for a while, cylinder there, so it's oiled down the balls of the cylinder, etc, etc. Drained all the fuel out, put new fuel in, new fuel filter, started up, had an oil leak from an oil cooler line, taken it all off, taken the radiator off, more access as well. There was a leak in fuel line which I've taken out. Now we're going to do Cambelt change. I'm going to make a step by step because I couldn't find any videos online when I was looking, and this can just be a video for everyone to reference. So far all I've literally done is I have taken out two bolts here, 1, 2. As you can see, the long one goes on the left, the short one goes on the right, and behind this plate sits this here. Okay, that sits behind there, this little spacer. Right, the only other thing I've done as well is I've taken out this bolt here, and obviously this one here. So this one, you've got the nut on the bottom and the washer, and this one you've got the bolt that goes through the top. It's on like a engine stabilizer arm, I think, well that's called. And here, that goes through there, that's welded on the back of there, so that isn't going to move. Now what I'm going to try and do now, is I'm going to try and release this tensioner down here. As you can see, it's got an Allen key on it, and what I've done is I've got my special tool here, you see. If I can try and get it out now, I'll show you. Okay, so that there, what size is it? Let me have a quick look. It is an 8. Okay, that is an 8mm. So this is actually very, if I just put that somewhere I can film it, I can show you. Like that perhaps. It's very stuck, so I've put loads of WD-40 on it. Just going to go backwards and forwards until I can get it to move. I don't want to strip it, I don't want to knacker it up or anything like that. So I'm just going to do it bit by bit, a little bit at a time, backwards and forwards, loosen it up, more WD-40, done gradually at a time, okay? And that's going to be the first part of this video, just to get this bloody bolt out. Fucking pain in the arse, it's obviously not come off in a long time. So we're going to do Cambelt and water pump today, have the oil pump as well. It's advised by Paul at Delta Works that do not change the oil pump unless it is leaking, because they very rarely tend to go. So that's what I've been advised, and that's what I'm going to have a look at once I get all this off. So I'm going to get this off first, guys, and then meet me back here for the next part of the video, which is going to play after this one. Right guys, we're back here again. So I've managed to load the WD-40, and as you can see, backwards and forwards, it is raised up now sufficiently enough to slacken off. There's two bolts there, can you see them? There is, if I just point to my finger, there is one here, this one, oh, and then there is one, if we can see it, there's another one there. Right, okay, that one there has just appeared. You can't really see it well on the camera. I'll just try and focus on it. No, get inside the, there we go. Yep, so we've got these two here, right, they'll release tensioner. This one helps it slide up and down, you lock it in place. This back one here is obviously the pivoting one, so they are going to need to come off. And just bear in mind, guys, this is my first time doing it on a Lancia Delta Integrale, because the first time I've owned one. I have done many Cambelts, many on far worse cars in terms of space and complexity, and this shouldn't be too bad, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, this is my first time doing it on a Lancia Delta Integrale, but I always take utmost care and attention whenever I'm doing any cars. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's going to be great. Right guys, back at the Lancia. So I've loosened off these two bolts on here. You can see that one started sticking out. I've loosened off this back one as well, the one I'm pointing my finger at here. As you can see now, the tensioner moves, okay, and the belt is nice and loose, ready to come off. As you can see, nice and loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take note of where it's going. So around this big one here, which is power steering, looks like, down the bottom one there, around this one, bottom one, you can see it, comes up over, you see it down there, over this one, and then back around the bottom one again. So now we're going to, you can just have a quick look down there if you can. If you can't, no worries. Let's see if I can get my phone in there, have a look. Yeah, you can see it, there we go. Around the bottom one and up again, so I'm just going to slip it off now. Okay. Right Right guys, whilst taking off the auxiliary belt here, one little trick you might find, which I always like to use, it's very, very tight for clearance usually in these sorts of cars. Yeah, so what you might try and find is, if you twist the belt like this, I'll try and get a good video. See the belt? If you twist it on its edge, and you can just kind of keep it on its edge and slide it past one of the pulley wheels, like that, okay? Like that. See? You can do it with the belt the whole way along. So, twist that again onto its side. Yep. And I'll use the same method to get the new belt back on. So, let's just slide that down. I'm hoping this video is going to be useful to someone because let's have a look. I can't find a useful one. There we go. Try and get that into such a fashion that it slides down. There we go. You don't want to chew up the belt either. There we go. Beautiful. This one, same thing. Twist it onto its edge. Slide it down. And get past the pulleys. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that. Hey. Oh yeah, smashing. No, I'll just be able to get it off underneath now. Put it off on the bottom. Just make sure it goes past all of them. Yep. Voila. Ready? There it is. There it is, guys. This one of these come off. Caught around that pulley there. I can't exactly see it what I'm doing right now, but that one there is going. I'm going to bring that this way. I think that's the way it needs to go. This is, and then it should just be on this over this last pulley here. Now, I'm doing this blind because I'm holding the camera, but I've got an idea of what it looks like in my head. Hopefully I'll be able to get it off on video. There we go, guys. That is how you get off the auxiliary belt. And you just put it on in exactly the same fashion. Let's have a look what they put on here. Looks like a Conti, is it? Who knows? You see any markings on there? I'm assuming this is a Continental belt, this one. I'm not too sure, but you can see the... If you're not sure if you've got the correct belt or not, you can look at the code on here. Which on this one, it says... This is really not that good, is it? Let's focus on this. If I just lay it down. There you go. Okay, guys. 0080. Okay, so that's 80 centimetre belt. I'm assuming from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ribs. Okay, all good. That one's off. Next video coming up. Maybe my camera's dirty. Guys, also a good idea whilst you've got this auxiliary belt off, just to check the pulleys for noise, check for play. That one sounds good. Right, that feels good and sounds good. You should be able to feel. If the bearings are gone, that's perfect. Look, you should be able to hear it and feel it. Just let me get down the bottom now and have a look at these ones. Give me a second. That one needs replacing. Can you hear it? Bearing's gone. Bearing's gone on that. Sounds good. See, that's a crank, so I'm about to move that one. But the bearing, I need a bearing for that one. Yeah. That's just a pulley, just an idler pulley. So that needs to be replaced. Okay. I might have to get that one off. What a pain in the backside that one's going to be. Guys, always worth checking. You don't want to put a belt on and then realise it's bloody noisy or something like that. I mean, you wouldn't really be able to hear it when it's running and driving, but if that seizes up, you're going to take a belt out possibly. You know, so it's just worth replacing. Right, guys, sorry I didn't film this part, but I'm doing it now. I thought I might as well film this. Right, to change that idler pulley down there, that one we're looking at right there. Right, you see, I've just taken out this one bolt. If I just show you here on camera, I've just taken out this one bolt, okay? And that was the one which it pivots on, which you see there was two there before. If I just try and point to it, give me a second. It was the one that was here. You see that? It was the one that was here. Yeah, it was in there. I've just taken that one out. My finger's in the hole now. It was in there. I've just taken that one out. I'm going to take the other one out as well. This one here we're looking at. because to get a spanner in there and to get the bolt out, it probably isn't going to come out with clearance. Even if I'd lower the engine on the engine mount, it probably still isn't going to come out. So I'm going to take the bracket off with the pulley on it through the bottom, and then I'll change the pulley on the bench, which is going to be easier, I think, rather than fiddling around like that and then spanners will just be, you know, wasting time. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'll take out the other bolt and I'll show you in a second. Right guys, it's dropped off down the bottom, so that was nice. It is worth noting that these two bolts are the same size, okay? So if you get them the wrong way around, well, try not to, they will go in. But key point, the one here with the adjustment on it has a larger washer as well to obviously spread the load because it's going through a large hole. This one doesn't, okay? Now, if I show you now it's off the car, if I just put this somewhere, what I'm going to do? Maybe there. That's good there. Right, as you can see, bring this into here, hold it, you can see how fucked it is. Excuse my language. Listen to the noise on that. You can literally feel it, it feels terrible. The amount of vibration going through my hand is ridiculous. I mean, it's not quite any play that way, just a little bit, yeah, a little bit. But the bearings are completely knackered, so I'll be replacing this. Okay. So I'll crack that off and I'll get a new one from Delta Works. Paul there will sort you out, he's such a nice guy, so go and spend a lot of money, make him happy as well. I'll probably try and tag Paul in this video, but yeah, fantastic. Also, whilst we're doing the video, if you need any carbon fibre parts for your cars, supercars, whatever, McLarens, Ferraris, you can head over to www.montani, that's MONTANI -racing.com. I also tinted these lights yesterday with some leftover tint I had because, well, I'm getting off here on a video, but yeah, because they're glass, I didn't want them chipping. And if I just show you quickly, excuse the mess in the house, got car parts everywhere, all the service parts as you can see, Delta Works there, speak to Paul. Tinted these as well, just to stop them from, they already had a little crack in them, but just stop them from cracking, yeah. But anyway, we shall get back on point here. We shall get back on point. Also gives me a nice little bit of clearance here as well, with this radiator out the front. The oil cooler lines are out of the way, you see, I've taken them off. So nice, someone's obviously replaced that at some point. Yeah, lovely, lovely jubbly. I'm surprised how solid this car is. It's completely solid underneath. Unheard of for a Lancia Delta Integrale. Beautiful, right, let's get back to it. Right guys, I've been a little bit silly. I told you it's my first time doing it, so the next video will be with the belt on, okay? The next part of the video. But what I didn't do, I didn't take off this this pulley here, okay? So I need to take this off, right? I'm guessing this is water pump. So a little old trick, if you're an idiot like me and don't want to put the tensioner back on, you can get the old belt, wrap it round, and I'm probably going to wrap it round and tie it round here, hold it on to here, okay? So it's tight up against something. And then I'm going to proceed to take off these bolts whilst it's being clamped up tight. Okay, so I'll just do that. Give me a moment. I might take a video of it. Guys, as you can see, little old trick here. Wrapped it around the pulley here. Gone underneath. Have a look. Gone underneath this. Doubled it up here, as you can see. Underneath this power steering pulley, and I'm just going to pull that tight. Not too tight. We don't bend anything, but I'm going to pull that tight whilst I try and undo this one. So if we just if I just set this camera up a second, give me a second. I'll just set this up maybe here. Rest there. Yep. Okay, that is on top of the. Hope my phone doesn't fall off. Okay, that is on top of the fuel filter. Whilst I'm pulling it tight, make sure you need to make sure it goes the right way. Try it on this one first. Got some space to get that one. Hitting on there, right, so I need to, don't round them off guys, I need to get something a bit better on there, don't I? Get something better on there, I don't end up rounding them. I'll get a little 10mm spanner, give me a second, I'll get a proper one. Hold up, hold up. Actually, with these as well, another little trick, what I might do is, I might try and go tighter first. Hold up. Get the belt's nice. I might try and go tighter on it first. Second. And then go loose. Oh, phone's fell off. There a minute. Sort of see it. There we go. That's one. That's one loose. Get the next one. Yep, next one. Beautiful. Guys are learning today. You gonna learn today? Oh yeah. Now the video isn't that great. I can sympathise there. The video isn't great, but you get the idea, guys. You're learning a few things, aren't you? Hey? No, that's not good. I need to turn this pulley around. Give me a second. I'll turn it around. Come on, slidey, slidey. Oh, I'll just use a right. Just slide it around with that'll do. Get it to where I want it. So I'll just release the tension on the belt there so I can slide that round. Pull it again tight. The other way, and then looking at, is it? That one is bloody tight. Right, a bit of WD-40 on there, maybe a little bit of heat I might need. But you get the point, guys. Yeah? Tension on the belt by pulling it, crack them off. I'll do that one in a minute. Bit of WD-40 on there, guys. It's come off a charm, so just put that there for a minute if you can see it. Yep. Again, look, see if you pull on the belt tight, pulling on it tight. You've got to pull tight. If you're weak, I'm sorry, you need to go to the gym. Man is strong. You get me. Try and talk some street here. Blood, bam. You get me, man. Literally, guys, I'm going to get my ratchet spanner on it. Oh, these ratchet spanners, mate, they are the ones. These flexible head ratchet spanners, these are sexy as anything. My mate Mark Pisani bought me these. They're so good. Years I've had these now. And the ratchets are really, really strong on them. You can put a lot of force through them. So, just crack on with them ones. They're very, very useful, especially for spaces like this where you can't actually get a you wouldn't be able to get a like socket in there. Take out my fingers now. Right, one. Right. Do not lose the washers, guys. Put them somewhere safe. I'm actually going to keep these on the air box. Turn it around. Get the next one. There we go. Next one. You can do this as well. Around. Needs a little ratchet spanner on it, that one does. So jobs I've done in this car so far, guys. Done the spark plugs, obviously. Made sure the fuel pump was getting power, which it was, which is good. Drained the tank. Put new fresh fuel in it. Ran through the fuel to make sure it was coming out nice and clean. Then I put a new filter on. And then it basically started up, guys. So I literally only started up for a few seconds, maybe about 30 seconds or so, and that was just to make sure that it did run before I then do any of this. Probably one of the easiest cars I had to start up. I've done the thermostat on it as well, and lucky I did. I believe in doing everything when I get a car, just to make sure I know, peace of mind, that it's good. If I've worked on it and I've done everything, I know it's going to be good. But thermostat, when I took it out, the spring was distorted, so it was obviously time to change it. It isn't going to operate correctly when the spring's distorted. And this is the last one now to come out. It will come out. Let's see. Get it? Yes. Remember, guys, when you're pulling these out, as soon as you feel about to come, sexual, as soon as you feel about to come out, just hold on to the spring washer, okay? Yeah, just pull it back and hold on to it. You don't want to lose it. Right. Okay, now that. was obviously wrong to do, wasn't it? Bollocks. Right, we'll leave it off. Fuck it. Let's get the belt out. Okay guys, there is a bolt behind there which looks like it needs to come out. Don't know how the hell I'm going to get that out. There probably is going to be one on the other side then as well. Let me see if I can turn this round well to see something. Okay, here we go. Right, there we go. Right, now that is going to be more accessible. Okay, you can see there is one on the other side as well. Bear in mind, this is the first time I've done it on this car. So, if there's anyone watching it thinking, what a twat, he's made a big mistake there, then, you know, post it in the comments. But, now I've got this pulley off, that leaves me a lot more access to get what I need to. I think it'll actually come off, but I don't think it will it? No. Right. I'm gonna attempt to get those off. They look like maybe a 13, so I can get a 13 spanner in there, and then hopefully this big bracket will come off here. Yeah? Jolly jolly. Right, let's get cracking. Right guys, a little bit of a roadblock, but not to worry. The only way I can see of actually slipping this off, because the bolts are like literally too long to come out, is by what looks like here is the engine mount, which is secured by 1, 2, and if you look over here, 3 bolts. So I'm going to support the sump with a block of wooden jack. I'm going to loosen those off. And hopefully I can jack the engine up and down to get enough clearance to get that out. I'll have to wait and see. So I don't know if it will, it might do, I'll have to wait and see. So I'm gonna do that and see how that goes. Right, I'll be back in a second. Right guys, I did jack the engine up a little bit, as you can see. Block of wood on the sump. My lovely jack. I'm not on the plug, just on by the side of the plug, as you can see. Yep. Right, jack up a little bit. The engine mount's a little bit high there. Okay. Don't need to touch any of these bolts in here. And then once you loosen off, once you crack off these bolts here, one down there, see it, that one there, and that one there, this should slide out. I didn't realise that, it just slides out, so that's good. They're sleeved. So that's out. Put this safe. This can come out now. Lovely. Bushes look good in there. I'm going to put that on the way it came off, just like that there, just to rest it on there, okay? That's fine. And then I'm going to have a look at getting maybe this water pump off somehow. And do these bolts, hopefully it'll come out, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I think maybe it's going to slide out because I don't see it coming out any other way really. A bit difficult that one. That bolt there is an absolute like pain in the backside. It will not fit through the pulley, it will not come off. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about that one. Bit difficult, not too sure yet. I can't get enough room on it either to slide it so I can get the bolt through a hole. You see, it's just not enough. You can see it's just not enough clearance to go through. So I'll think of that one on my feet when I come to it. But I'm just going to try and loosen off both of these. They both need to come out. And then we can do the, oh actually I need to release the tensioner, doesn't I? Bloody tensioner. That one there's the tensioner. I'm taking note how it's sitting. And that is a balancer shaft as well, isn't it? So actually I shouldn't really, I need to rotate this first. So I'm going to take off that bottom pulley and rotate this. That's what I'm going to do. Do that one back in tight just so it doesn't move too much. That one is still in the hole, so that's not too bad. Push that one. That's still in a locating hole, so that's not too bad. So I'm going to rotate this round. Actually, is it? It doesn't even matter, actually, does it? It doesn't matter, I'm just being silly. What I'm talking about. I'll take this off. Then I need to undo the bottom one and rotate it to TDZ. That's what I'm going to do, guys. Sorry about the waffling there. So what I'm going to do is, I'll take off this water pump, because stupid me, water pump's driven by the two bow, isn't it? And then I got confused by this balancer shaft here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this bottom pulley here off the crank, rotate it to TDC, make sure everything's all timed up, and then I'll go about taking off the balancer shaft belt. I'll mark it all up as well with a pen afterwards. Guys, try and take the water pump off. Another 13mm here. I thought, let me just see where they all are. You know, this here I've got the new water pump from Paul at Delta Works again, and I'll pull it out of the box. It is going this way, I assume. Let me have a look. Oh, this doesn't look right, does it? This does not look right at all. Always worth checking. That does not look the same. That definitely does not look right. I could be wrong. That does not look right. We may have a problem. Okay. Right guys, what I'm going to do to clear a bit more access, I'm actually going to take off this, this pulley here on the crank, try and get a bit more access on it. That's what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm going to do that now, try and get a bit more access, and then yeah, I'll go from there. Just water drain out. I've already drained all the water out, but this is coming from the top, isn't it? On a different side, so let's give it a go, see how we get on. So here we are, we've got the 6mm hex bit in the end, or Allen key type bit in the end. I'm just going to try and crack this off. I'll hold the camera while I'm doing it. Okay. Try and do this one whilst holding the camera. So you see it crack off. There we go. So there, I've already done these bottom two, they're loose. See? So, just going to undo all of these and then take it off. If you give this a little wiggle, if I try and can't really wiggle it one hand, let me just pop my phone there a second. There we go. Right. Okay. Should make a note with that timing markers there. Timing mark there on the bottom, right? So we'll do that afterwards. But I'm going to drop the engine back down a little bit now just to get that off. So give me just a second. Bolts are out there. They're all the same size, so just do it one hand. Try and grab this as it comes down. Why is everything on this car such a fucking pain in the arse? Excuse my French. It just doesn't want to come out, does it? Right, let me see what the clearance is like. That does not want to come out, does it? Let me see what the clearance is like. What way can I go with it? Let me go that way with it, can I? Go left with it, that might be an option. Dear me. What a joke. Let's see. Oh. There we go guys, pulls out the bottom, just a little bit of wiggling, a bit of force, comes out, right, now, where was that timing mark on there, there's a timing mark, right, so, that timing mark is with that bottom one there, okay, time mark there to the bottom one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark this one here. I'm going to mark this hole here so I know where time mark goes with that one there. That's what I'm going to do, okay? Okay. Is there a time mark on this pulley? Yes, there is. Fucking useless. Let's see, we don't actually know. I was expecting there to be like a little key on here or something, guys. But we don't actually know. Doesn't appear to be a key on there anywhere. Ah, there it is. There it is. See it? Right there. Okay, there's the key on there. So in fact, what the fuck is that doing on there then? Unless that's just a little nick someone's done. That's not actually a timing mark then, is it? Oh, God knows. So really, if that's a timing mark, have a quick look. No, it's still not right. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Well, it doesn't really matter on this one. We'll just go off here. It doesn't really matter. That hasn't really got to go on anyway then, has it really? Well, actually it does, because it's bloody for the cam sensor. So, well, I don't think it really matters, but I'll put it on the correct way. I'll just mark it up. So that little notch goes where there. I'm just gonna put a little mark on that one there. Right, nice one. Okay, guys, I'm gonna TDC this and then see if we can get something going. And I think on cranks is a left-handed thread, so I'm gonna turn it left here. Just go inlet to exhaust, so left-handed thread. Okay. Right, guys, I've just gone ahead and timed the engine up just by turning it on the crank pulley. You kind of need to use your own sort of timing marks really, but it is at top dead centre. So just kind of just marked it. It was kind of already marked in these places. So that balancer shaft there needs to go, that tooth there to that one. That tooth there to that one. These teeth here. And as suspected, that, I checked it as well while it was on there, that tooth there does actually line up with this here. When it goes on, like this gear here should line up with there, and I've checked it by putting on, so I've marked it there for that one. So I marked it so that crank pulley will line up with this point here, yeah, with this mark once it is on, because it sits slightly off centre to the bolt, as you can see. It sits slightly to the right of the bolt, so it will line up. I've just checked it. So that's all timed up. Now the pain in the arse. I did check with Paul, it is the correct water pump. I checked with Paul at Delta Works, it is a correct water pump, but now I've got the pain in the arse job of trying to remove the water pump and trying to get to 2 bolts at the back, which I have no idea how I'm going to get yet. Yeah, that might be difficult. Right guys, in an attempt to make some more room in here, I've taken out a 13mm bolt from here. Excuse my dirty fingers, 13mm from there. And that is this one here. Sorry, it might have been 12mm. Let me just have a... could have been... what was it? 10mm, sorry. 10mm, I lie. It's a 10mm. I'm being an idiot, it's 10mm, sorry. And then I've just removed another 10mm one from here. See how it is? Just remove this 10mm from here as well. Right, I'm going to try and take this bracket out. I need to find where the other one is that's holding it in. 10mm from there as well. At the moment it's really not coming out too easily. It's a bit of a pain in the backside if I'm being honest. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Right guys, I managed to actually get this pulley wheel off here. As you can see, I managed to squeeze it down the bottom there. Down the bottom, taking a little bit of pain with it, but it's the only way I could think about getting it off. There might have been an easier way, but I got it off in the end anyway. It came off down here, and I literally just pulled it out down here this way here. Absolute pain in the arse, spent about an hour on that cunt. Excuse my language. Yeah. So now I can try and access the other bolts on this and pull that out. It's a little bit more clearer now. Okay guys, there's another bolt underneath the water pump, okay? There's one here, there's one directly underneath it. So I've got this flexible head ratchet here with my anti-slip socket here, Draper Expert, really good kit this one actually. It's one of my favourite sets, I always use it all the all anti-slip sockets, as well as that. They've got sort of like a wobble end on them as well. You can lock it in if you push it in all the way. They're really good. Really got me out of a lot of trouble quite a few times. So shouldn't be having them on the floor, to be honest, but they are good. Right guys, so all those 4 bolts are now loose, as you can see. Right, and the easiest way I can see of doing this is probably disconnecting that hose there. See that Jubilee there? Disconnecting that Jubilee and pulling this pipe out along with the water pump. If I can get out in one piece. This is going to be a right shit job, I'm not going to lie to you. Excuse my language again. And yeah, it is going to be an absolute pig to get something back on. I'm just an absolute pig, I can just tell you. It is going to be a right pig. To get this off, I might take the balancer shaft belt off now, because I think that's going to interfere. I might have a bit more clearance with the balancer shaft belt off. You know, I need this guard. This guard is going to come out with this as well. You see it. This guard is going to come out with the water pump. I need to undo. So I'll undo that Jubilee. It looks pretty rusty. I'll take this balancer shaft belt off first. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Looks like this is a tightening one. So look, that is a tensioner. Yes, it is. So no, it's tensioned actually. It's only got one hole in there. I wonder if it's an Allen key hole. I'm not too sure. Oh, that is tensioned. Must be an Allen key hole. Let me put an Allen key in there and find out. Give me a second. Let's try that. So that H5. No. Okay then. Well, we'll be tensioning it up then using a pry bar for something else. So I'm just going to go ahead and slacken it off now, that one. They're all marked up anyway, so hey ho. Let's give it a go. Right, does that look like a 13 on there? Happy to have my 13 spanner back. Oh, water in there. Jesus Christ. God almighty. Right, let's go try and tighten it first. Oh, that might need some heat on there, guys. Sugar me. Oh, alright, get a blowtorch on that then. Bit of a grubby deal on there first. I did already spray this, you know. I actually already did spray this. Absolute nightmare. Oh, there we go. Right, so a little bit that way, and then a little bit this way. Go backwards and forwards with it, guys. You don't want to strip anything. Oh, fucking hell, that is tight. That is well tight. That's what she said. While screaming. Hey, would you look at that? That came nicely then. As you can see, the tension's just been released. Don't mind me banging on my car. It's my car. I can do what I like with it. Bang whatever I like, whenever I like, however I like, and whatever time I like. Well, maybe not. I'm actually very loyal, so when I was single, maybe I'm still single. Who knows? I don't know. It's complicated. No, I'm just chatting shit. So that is off. Belt is nice and slack. Just take a note of how it goes. Look, around this one, over this one, under the main crank pulley. You can see it. Around the top. Okay, around the top, all the way around, back over this one again. So I'm just going to gently just slide it off. Hoping the balancer shafts, and slide off the balancer shafts, just hoping they stay. Oh, that one's moved already. Just hoping they stay semi where they are. Fucking well tight, that one. Look at that. Look how tight that is. Oh yeah. Right. Let's take this belt off. If I'm not filming on the video, guys, I'm very sorry. Right. Balancer shaft belt off. Well, now I've got new pulleys and everything from Paul at Delta Works. Right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This should pull off. I need to undo the bolt on that. Oh, hang on. No, I should be able to get it off. I should be able to get it off. Maybe. Maybe. He says maybe. Do I remove the balancer shaft bolt to get that off? It might make it easier. There's still going to be a shaft sticking out though, isn't there? I'll leave it on there for now and see how we get on, guys. But what I'm going to do now is just undo that one there at the back, okay? Looks maybe like a 7mm. So I'm going to put a 7mm on a long extension. So, get my 7. I'm really bad, I should be putting my sockets back, I always do, I'm just not for this video. Right, so 7mm long extension, I'll get that one as well. Put it in my extensions. Right, this one can go back. Always put them back after I use them, that way you don't lose them. 1 second, that's it. It's 10, I'll give them a clean later on. There we go, 7mm on there, should be 7, looks like it's a 7. And I have moved quite a bit of stuff out of the way already. Try and get it on there, guys, you can see. Yep, that's a 7. Quite rusty, but should spray this some WD actually, shouldn't I? Let me spray some WD on it. Sit down there. Well, that's just piss now, isn't it? There we go. Just loose that off. I cannot see it. This. Get a good video on that one. There we are. Just so you can see the loose enough, just so you can see the Jubilee clip just moving away from the rubber. Don't want it too loose. It's falling off anyway. Oh, this one's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked. The bloody screws come out. Just leave that in there for them. Hopefully that'll pop out then. Wait and see. I'm going to get a little screwdriver on that so we can pry it off. When I say little, I mean big. Where's the big screwdriver gone? Should be around here somewhere. A big screwdriver. Very sorry guys, there we are. Here we are. I usually use this one for prying off hoses. So down there, just get it underneath. Just want to sort of just, you don't want to wreck the hose, but you want to just you can see what I'm doing. Where is it? You want to wreck the hose, but you want to just go around it and just, it's aluminium, this pipe, isn't it? I mean, look at it, it's just a fucking state. Do you know what as well? Just get onto there. Try and just do something with this. I don't want to end up slipping and fuck my hands up. This is going to be a nightmare to get back on. Right guys, I'm going to get this off and then I'll start the next video part, okay? Right guys, just going to skip on to the next step quickly. I'm just going to take off this this crank wheel here, okay? Alright, now this is where you need to be, well, you need to have one of these bad boys. This is some serious some serious shit, this one here. I can't remember how many newton meters. I think it's like 1600 newton meters of torque. It's a lot. And obviously you need to go right. And that's why you have one of them. Because that is a bad boy. Careful not to drop it in the bucket. That, man, lifesaver, I'm telling you. Look at that beast. If you don't know, get to know. Boom. Right. And then, guys, I'm expecting this to be keyed, because it should only really go on there one way. I'm just trying to set my phone up here for a second so you guys can see. Not the best thing in the world, is it? This. Give me a second. Well, hey, that'll do. Right. Basically, guys, 2 hands. Wiggle, 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 and it comes off. And as expected, oh, okay, it's not keyed, but, okay guys, it's not keyed for this, or if it is, it doesn't seem like it is. I would have expected it to be keyed, but basically that can only go on one way, right? Yeah, that can only go on one way. Alright, I'm going to mark this somehow. I need to find, I need to put some timing marks on here, because otherwise we're going to be going oopsie daisy. Where shall I put timing marks on it? Oh, there's a washer sitting on there, that's nice. Ah, there is, look, there is. There's one up there. You guys see it at the top? There's a timing mark just there. I need to clean it up. We'll get some brake cleaner and clean it. There's a time mark there, so that's how it's got to go. That top 2 pointing to there. Alright, okay, that's good. Well, we know that, we can slack. Guys, just taking this balancer shaft belt tensioner off. As you can hear. Yeah? Right, there's quite a lot of resistance in there as well if I just spin it. You can hear that, you can feel it as well. It's really not any good, so this needs to be replaced. I've got the new part for this from Pulley Back On Works anyway. Circuit will come off and then it's going to come out somehow, probably a press fit or something like that. It might be quite difficult to do, but needs to be done, so maybe a bit of freezing, a bit of heat, I don't know. We'll have to get that done though, won't we? Yeah? Alright. Right guys, I don't know if you can see, but have a look, you can see on there. Okay, the rubber hose is off this pipe, right? This is like semi-loose in here. You know, water pump's kind of loose. This bracket's kind of stopping me from moving it. I'm going to have to take off this belt, which I was going to leave till the end because I don't really like to leave it too exposed, stuff moving about. Doesn't matter. Try to undo this bolt here a little bit to give me a little bit of play in the bracket, which it doesn't. That's 17. I might undo the I can't get to this one here to take this guard off, which is an absolute pain. There's one here, it looks like a 12mm to take this guard off, give me a little bit more play. It won't come off. So I'm left with no options really. Take this belt off, then I can try and take this bottom guard off here. Bottom metal guard, wherever it goes, you know, who knows. Absolute pain in the backside. I don't even know if it will come off. This is not a fun job, guys. I don't think this is even going to come off, to be honest, unless it slides over that pulley. It slides over that one. Probably won't slide over this one, I'm guessing. Is it? Will it? It might do. Yeah, it might do. Let's undo it and see if we can get that guard off then. And then I might have to loosen up the brackets on this one from the bottom, which means I'm going to have to take off the alternator, because I've looked already as best as I can and I won't be able to access them without taking the alternator off. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff to take off, but if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. You can't complain about it. So let's just get it done. Alternator. Shouldn't be too many. There's one here. Might be able to swing it, to be fair. One here, I can see. And then on the other side. And then it might pivot on the bottom one, which I'm assuming it will do. So we can do that. Yeah, fun times. I'm going to get Allen key now and loosen this off here. Let me find Allen key. Give me a second. I've got Allen keys here somewhere. Had them out earlier. We'll do the big Allen keys. I've got 2 sets anyway, so I'll use one from here. Oh, I did have them out earlier. Some lunch in a minute. It's probably going to be that one. Yep, which it is that one. Okay, so I'm going to take that one out. The rest is down here for a second, guys. And they're probably going to move. There we go, slacked off. Right, that there is slacked off now. Yeah, it's nice and loose, look. Okay, there we go, really slacked off now. Now that should come out nice and easy. Just cams haven't moved. Still under a bit of tension though. Once I slide this off they might move. Oh, they haven't. Oh, that is a beauty. That is a world first, man. They haven't moved. How incredible. How actual incredible. I'm very, very happy right now, guys. Very happy. Fucking awesome. And the belt's off, look. Et voila. Et voila. Et voila. Et voila. Now this guard needs to come off. Must be another bolt securing it somewhere. Can't see where, but I'm sure I'll find it. The bugger. Yeah, must be somewhere. Must be somewhere. Where's it go? What's this one saying? I mean, it feels like it's loose on this. It feels like it's tight down the bottom. Feels like it's tight here. And it's loose here. Loose here. Might be tight down the bottom, I'm guessing. Should I pull this off? I'm gonna pull this off. I should get that out of the way for a start. Get that out of the way. Lovely. Okay, guys, looks good. Yeah. It's off. We can just test this one as well. See how this one fares. You're gonna love my tool keeping. Oh, that's actually really nice bearing already on that one. Well, I'm going to replace it anyway. This is a really nice bearing. It's been lovely feel to it. Someone must have done this one recently. Obviously didn't do the other ones. The pillocks. That is really nice bearing. Like it literally feels like it's almost new. It's a really nice bearing. Really, really nice. Look at it. Oh God, that's a good bearing. That, guys, very, very good. Well, we're going to replace it anyway, so I'll put that on there. Right. So slowly getting more room in there. Slowly. It's a bit strange. There's actually sewing up somewhere. I reckon it's going to be under here somewhere. It's so bloody messy and dirty though, isn't it? I don't feel any bolts anywhere. Just want it to come off. To have a look from underneath. There's something definitely stopping it somewhere. It's the oil pump. Is it oil pump dry? I don't know. What's that fucking one there? Oil pump down there. Have a quick looky. Nope. Back. So dirty. I might spray some brake cleaner on here. I don't think that's holding it on anywhere. Let's see what this one's doing there. Have a quick look. Try to drop my phone in the bucket. So dirty you can't see anything. Must be another bolt holding it on. Right guys, I'm going to find this other bolt and take it off so I can get that guard off. You have to bear with me, alright? Right, in a bit. Let's pull this one off, guys. This goes to the bottom. Right guys, I just pulled this one off. This one goes into the bottom of the water pump. It goes in like that and that bit there brackets to the guards down there, so yeah, it is what it is. Pull that one off and show you where it goes. Get down. See that bolt hole there? See that one there? That one? Well, this bit goes there, and this bit goes through and this top bit goes to the water pump. Right guys, out of pure desperation, 17mm alternator off. Okay, put this down here. We go top side and take the other ones off as well. Absolute pain in the backside. So this one I need to get to. Okay. Not sure how exactly I'm going to get to that yet. So tight. I have to put a ring spanner on that one and ring spanner on this one down here, if you can see it. That one there. Ring spanner on that one. And on the other end I'll get a socket. If I can get a socket on there. What a pain. Right, let's get it done. Guys, as you can see, there's 19 on there, okay? Look, my ratchet, okay? Yeah? Alright, my ratchet, it's 19 on there. There's 19 on this side as well. Alright? Top of the alternator. Just literally going to put it here for a second. Oh, I might as well hold it in my mouth, I guess. Not going to work out too well, that is it? Put it here for a second, yeah? Literally. Just loosen it up. Loosen it up. Right, it should be plenty loose enough now. Now, wiggle it off. Fucking disgusting. Push it in my mouth. Now, I should be able to swing. Excellent. There we go. Swung the alternator. Now, I should be able to get to this here, hopefully. There's a bracket there. A bolt there on a bracket. I don't know if I can get to that. Hopefully I can. Then, I don't know how many are on here. I'm guessing there should be another one. There might be one over the other side if I can. I don't know if there is. There should be probably. But anyway, if I can do this, then maybe I can get the water pump out with this pipe. What a pain in the arse. Let's get onto that. It looks like a. I don't know if you can see that. There's one there. I'm assuming there might be one on the other side. Actually, I think my phone there. I might be able to see it myself actually. Where's the bracket? Is that a bracket? Is that something? Is that a bolt? I don't know. Ah, there's one there, isn't there? Yep. So there's obviously another one there, which I'll see if I can see from the top now. Yeah, can't really see it. This is going to be a really, really shit job. Oh, really shit. Oh, fucking hell, there's quite a few. Well, if I can loosen it off just enough, just to get some movement out of it, so I can get the pipe out, I'll be happy. What a shit job. What a proper shit job. I haven't had lunch yet, I need to stop for lunch. It's like, what time is it? I don't know, it's late. Right guys, a big bracket on the block with that nut we're trying to get to, that one there, 17mm. What I've done is I've got a pry bar on this and pulled this out of the way as I've got a flexible, I use this, look, it does not much clearance in there, so I need a 17 flexible head, nice and short, 3/8 drive. Yeah, managed to get it undone and loosened up a bit. So now we're going to see if we've got any play to get this bloody water pump out, which I don't think we will have. But I'm doing all the bolts, but you never know. You never know. Try and get it out. Right guys, I managed to wiggle this shield so it came free. It's only on a lug there, just slips in. Gives me a little bit more room, just wiggled it till it came free. It's not bent or anything, so that's fine. Piece of crap. Right guys, I'm literally pulling my hair out with here. Right, I've made the decision to take off the power steering pump and the alternator because this is just an absolute ball ache, to be honest. Nothing's coming out. Cannot get to this one. I've just taken out 17mm, by the way. That's 17mm just falling out. There's another 17mm there, and there's one on the other side. As you can see, it's like there. I'll get to it from the other side though. We'll take all that out. Yeah, I cannot get this out. I literally cannot get clearance on this to take this out. 13 mil. This will not come, so I need to take the bracket off. Fuck bollocks, never mind. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Right, guys. The only way I could get to these water pump bolts here that hold on this water pipe is by slacking off everything. This is fucking loose as well. It's out of the way. I've got some room in there now. See, look. Yeah, power steering pump's loose. Taking out them 3 bolts there. 17 mil. 1 on the back, 2 on the front. Literally I need to pull this out of the way back, give me enough clearance to put a spanner in between here. Now that's loose. Literally I can get this thin. It needs to be a thin spanner as well. It's quite thin. If I compare it to a normal 13, you'll be able to see it's an absolute pain in the arse, this car. Look at the difference, yeah? Likewise, if I get another 13, just to show you comparison what a normal 13 looks like. As you can see, guys, it's much thinner. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So if I just put this here, you might be able to see something. Can you see that? I wonder. Should be able to. Yep. So just by pulling this back, I'm able to get that in there. Slip this on. Take it off. Again, same again. Okay, hopefully once I remove this now, once I remove these 2 bolts, let me show you one on the underside. The one on the underside wasn't too bad. Put 13 here for that one. Oh. Only once I remove these 2 bolts, give me a second, guys. Oh, dearie me. So remove these 2. See the other one's there. See it there? This way around. Again, fucking clearance issue again. It's an absolute pig. Absolute pain in the backside. Yeah, see? Oh god, got it wrong there. Absolute pain in the arse to actually get anything on. I should be able to undo it one by hand now. Like I said, guys, pain in the arse for clearance, yeah? And crap in your eyes. So, I'll crack on getting those off, guys, and I'll start the video again in a second. Well, guys, the 2 bolts are out of the water pump to water pump elbow. As you can see, it's an absolute pain in the backside, but it's off. Right, so now I need to get the water pump off. But what I'm thinking is this will not come off unless I remove this, because it's literally got nowhere to go. And there's 1 bolt behind here on the bottom. I'll show you in a second. I believe that's the last bolt on there that's holding it on. Is this one here. I believe that's the last one, and it's quite difficult to get to be honest. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to get to that. I don't know if it's going to come past that pulley or not. I don't know. Looks a little bit difficult. And then whether it'll actually, whether the plate will actually come off, who knows. Bit of a pain in the backside. Right, this is the worst water pump job I've ever done on a car, and I've done a lot. Basically, I had to remove 1 bolt from the shield which was stuck. It took a lot of wiggling and forcing, and the bolt eventually came out. I'm going to swap it for a cap head bolt instead of this bolt, because this one here, as you're turning it, it was fouling on the balancer shaft pulley, and it wasn't actually coming out. The edges were fouling on the back of the pulley, it wasn't coming out, so I had to kind of force it and jiggle it and eventually just pull it out, as you can probably see. In fact, the threads are actually okay on that, but I'm going to swap it for a shorter bolt, because it doesn't need to be that long just to hold on a fucking backing plate, and I'll put it for a cap head as well. Now, with this wiggled out the way as so, managed to turn this bit, keep turning the water pump bit, and eventually it came out. It came out. What a pig. What an absolute pig. Now, I think these are different length bolts here. They look to be slightly different length, so it's worth, well, they might not be. It's worth keeping them the way they came out. With the water pump out of the way, this is now wiggled free. So I want to clean this up as well. Need to clean up those mating surfaces there too. And I'm going to shove some rag in the hole first, obviously. Make sure you shove some rag in the hole and stop debris from going in there. And then get some light sandpaper and clean it up. It's all going to get cleaned up. New pump and old water pump side by side. Another important note is make sure you copy over your timing marks exactly. Okay, so I need to copy this one out of X. Give me a second. I'll just do that. I'll just don't know where to put this for a second. Hold up while I get something like my mug. Give me a second.
Oh, was that oil and coolant in there?
Oil and coolant, yeah.
Nice. Mark your T so you know where you.
So that's pretty much in the centre.
Like.
Huh?
Marking your cup of tea.
Yeah, marking the cup of tea. This is going on YouTube, Dad. There we go. That's about right there. So, make it nice and clear. There we go, guys. Should be able to see that. Yep. Same place. Right, it's ready. Again, this water pump here come from Pool at Delta Works. Right, guys, this is the water pump elbow. Cleaned up this face here. There's a little bit of pitting which can't help, which I'm going to put a bit of Hylamar or gasket paste on there anyway, as well as the gasket, and I've just sort of cleaned up this end a little bit, given it a little bit of sand, cleaned up a bit more, and that's ready to go on. Now I just need to do the ones on the car. Right, guys, the most important part of installation of a water pump, oil pump, or any sort of pump, okay guys, is get it nice and clean. See that? Okay, surfaces need to be nice and clean. I've done that using 180 grit sandpaper in strips. Done it by hand, guys. Spend a good bit of time getting it nice and clean. Obviously I did plug the hole with paper, just taken it out as you can see. Then what you need is brake cleaner. Clean off all the oil and residue. Brake cleaner on a rag, keep cleaning it until it comes out clean. And then you should be able to wipe your, it's already dirty, I'll show you, try and do a clean bit. You should be able to wipe your area, and it should be able to come out relatively clean. So, that is how I've just gone all the way around it. As you see, guys, it's pretty clean, okay? So, again, the same thing with this. Okay, mating surfaces nice and clean. Alright. So, now I'm ready to put the new water pump on. So I'm going to do that. Right guys, what we're going to do, I've got this, again I used this yesterday, semi-hardening gasket compound. I'll just show you this quickly. Okay, I usually use the blue one, Hylamar, but this is just as good, and it doesn't go as hard, and it stays flexible and resistant to petrol, diesel, oil, water, steam, antifreeze, quick and easy to dismantle components after assembly. Okay, literally just for gap filling properties, guys, and make sure there's no leaks. It will harden slightly, so I'm going to put it all around here on both sides of this gasket, and then I'm going to put it on all the bolts that I put through as well, just on put all the bolts but just on the threads. Okay, so anyway, right guys, so I'm now going to put this semi-hardening gasket compound on here. It's on both sides of the gasket as well, just to ensure any gap filled on there and on the car. It's just going to be nice and tight seal. I'm going to also put it on the threads as well, on the bolts. Okay, threads on the bolts, so I put them through. Just that, another place obviously they might leak, so I'm going to put it on there. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, and I'll put it on the car. Right guys, so now this one is gasket stuck down, and again I'll put it around the edge on the gasket on here, because you don't want to come in too close to the water pump. As you can see, I had to wipe a bit off there. That's absolutely fine. I'll clean that properly in just a minute, but this gasket, you can leave it for a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go sort of hard. Not hard, but sort of set a little bit, and as you can see I'll put it on the bolts as well. So I'm going to let that sit there for a minute or two. And then I'm going to do the same with the gasket on here. Okay guys, as you can see again, gaskets been put on already with the Hylamar, and I've put this around the outside. It's a little bit messy on this one, but it's all going to squish down when it's on the car. Again, I'll do the same thing with Hylamar, or not, I keep calling it Hylamar, but not exhaust, sorry. Like I say, it's been a long day guys, yeah, with the gasket compound on here, okay? So, well, this needs to go on the car first, because I took this off last. This needs to go on first. So, I'll get that done. Just give me a moment while I find the bolts. So all ready to go on, and it'll be beautiful when it goes on. So let's get that done, shall we? Right guys, so I couldn't film and do it at the same time, but basically what I've done was I put the pipe in place first with the gasket and everything on there. I just rested it there. Then I managed to wiggle the water pump back into place. The first thing I'd done was I connected the bottom bolt on this pipe here. Connected the bottom bolt because I couldn't really get them to match up. Connected the bottom bolt. Luckily I moved this out of the way. I've got enough room to wiggle my hands in here and move it around. Okay, so this did need to move. The power steering pump did need to move out of the way. Once I connected the bottom bolt, I pulled it back out a little bit, holding it together. It was really difficult. I managed to wind this top bolt back in, and I just nipped them up just gently. Then I managed to locate this one first, and then this one. And I've nipped this one up here. Now I need to get the shield back on, and that's where I'm at so far. But these are nice and tight now. I'll let them go off for a good 20 minutes with the gasket on there and everything. And so now I'm almost ready to put the bottom one in, and away we go. So it's getting good, guys, getting good. Right, this here is the bolt that was catching on the bottom balancer shaft pulley, or balancer shaft gear as you want to call it, which actually catches on the pulley part of it. So what I'm going to do is take 6mm off. That was a clearance on the head, so about 6mm, just over 6mm, and then it's only holding in the guard, so it really doesn't need to be this long. So I'm just going to take this little 6mm off, and then it should just go in no problem and come out no problem for anyone else who wants to go there in the future. Nice and smooth, so actually now the birds are off there, now it's going nice and smooth. A nice little angle on there, make sure it goes in nicely. Oh yeah, that should go in very nicely now. Just make sure I clean it up before I put it in. So look, yeah, you can't really see, there we go. Right guys, I've just been putting the plates on in reverse order, okay, and waiting for that one will, there's a nut on the back of that one will bolt through when the timing cover goes back on, okay. So I've been putting them back on in reverse order. This one's now secured, again the timing cover needs to go, it's one that needs to go onto there still through the timing cover. Yeah, it's getting done guys, it's getting done. So it's a bit weird that one's there, that one shouldn't be there. I don't think, should it? I don't know. Anyway, it's looking good, it's getting done. Get ready to put the belt back on. New belt. Everything's nice and tight, I think. Actually, I need to check the bolt on the bottom of that. I need to check the bolt on that. That's a 13, isn't it? Let's check that one. Yeah, I think I did check it already, but I'm just going to double check it again, guys. It's always best to be doubly sure. Right guys, now that's all done, I've just re-put the mark back on there because it kind of wore off. I've just cleaned the pulleys with some brake cleaner and some rag. The gears, you know, it's got dirt in them now. It's been down here all day. What I'm going to do guys, I'm just going to connect up the hose back onto the water pipe there. I might have new Jubilee on there, and I'm just going to refix all of this back on properly, as well as the alternator. Right guys, I'm out here at the Lancia Delta Integrale in the morning now. Now there's a little mistake I made yesterday, okay, and that was there is a bearing pulley on here, okay, and that's supposed to rotate. As you can see, it's pressed up against the belt. It's supposed to rotate with the belt, obviously counterclockwise or whatever to this or whatever. It's supposed to go loosely compared to this gear here anyway, yeah, and that needs replacing. So what I've done this morning guys is I've just literally put on this cam belt here, very easy. Get the cam belt on over the top two pulleys first, hold it, wrap it round, just put it on the edge of this, on the edge of this, okay, and then you can slip it just about over the gear on the bottom, and then you just tighten it up, a little jimmy bar or something in there, to push it, to tension it a little bit. So it's not too tense at the moment, it's fine, you can still twist that a little bit, yeah? So I haven't overdone it. What we're going to do now, as well, there's bearing on here. Sorry, yeah, so I'm going to place this one as well. I can do it off the car, but this one I need to take this off. So I need to put the old belt back on. I'm not going to use new belts because I don't want to stretch them or ruin them or anything. I'm going to put the old belt back on, the old balance shaft belt. Put it in 5th gear, handbrake. Get a nut in there. Try and release that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Right guys, so this is what we've resorted to, 4 pairs of hands, both pushing against the Stilsons, and I've got a part of a jack pole on here, on a 19 spanner down there. Tried everything, wedging 2 gears together.
Yeah, we couldn't fit the 6-foot scaffold pole on the end of the spanner.
What else did we try? We tried, what did we try? We tried wedging it, we tried, I ended up bending by hand. The was that oil filter spanner over there, and literally just cracked off, smashed my finger as well. So we're just going to if I put this here, right, hold it there, Dad. Yeah. Just going to move this around again.
Now you'll be able to do it by hand now.
Right. Don't know if we will. There. Right. Okay. 1 second. Right. So we just put it. Alright, that's it, I'll come off by hand now. Alright, lovely, thank you. And that's that, guys. Alright, that's what we resorted to, Stilsons. Okay. Right guys, as you can see, absolutely rusted in place, was not going to come out. Loads of heat on that we had in there and everything, so. Right. Fingers smashed.
Who fucking alive?
Alright, let's take off then. Master mechanic. Yeah, what's that? What's that you want on the video, Dad?
Do not buy one of these cars.
No, don't buy one, they're a pain in the arse.
Don't buy
Right,
one.
so guys, what the plan was to take that off in one go, but it won't come off. So since the bearing's going to be pressed on the back of the gear, what I've done is I've put this little Jimmy pry bar in there, in behind, and I'm trying to pull the, just very carefully, you don't want to break the lip or anything, trying to pull the, keep turning it, keep turning it, okay, and pull the, see there's a little gap there now, and pull the bearing away from, or rather you're pulling the gear away from the bearing. The bearing should just drop off the back. I need a thicker pry bar in here now, and that should just come out. Okay. Right guys, with a pry bar with lots of WD-40, that's how you get off a piece of crap like that. If I just put this here for a second just to try and show you. Right. Okay. Using pry bars, different sizes, against the gap between the gear and the pulley. Okay, so I'm using it, if you can see, against this bit here and against there, pry it off, and then at the back as well with a smaller Jimmy bar. Let me show you the smaller Jimmy bar. Smaller Jimmy bar is there, and then just get your hands on it and give it a good old wiggle, and fucking hell, it's taking about half an hour to wiggle it out. Bastard. Alright guys, good luck. Guys, in a crappy little vice, in there, hold it on, yeah, just gently tap it out, it will come out, as you can see, wiggle, 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 boom, done, fantastic. Okay, all good. Now you can put the new bearing on, and clamp the new bearing on, okay, wickety wickety whack. And this one, my days guys, does not even move. This one was solid, literally. Let me just this one really needs to be changed, like really, really badly. Let me just put that on front of me for a second, so I can show you. Literally, I can't even move that. I'm trying really hard. I cannot even move it. It's seized solid, guys. That is ridiculous. That really needs to be changed. Got a little bit of movement in it. No, it's wrecked, guys. Absolutely wrecked. That's probably the original one on there. You can probably tell by the amount of pitting on it. So, I need to put a new one on. I've got a new one, it'll be going on, I'll be pressing it on in it. Alright. Right guys, here's a nice new bearing I've got from again Paul at Delta Works. Not sure what bearing it is actually, it looks like a, oh, FBJ, it's an FBJ bearing. Okay, fucking blowjob. Or not. So I literally just push that on there guys, you can see, yeah? Push it on. It's not orientated or anything like that, it literally just goes on, and you can see, oh, look at that loveliness, right? Right, I'm going to tap it on, tap it on, tap it on, and then put it in the vise and make sure it goes on straight. Yeah, you can hear it. Okay, now I'm going to put it in the vise. Okay guys, put it in there. I'm going to clamp it, I'll keep turning it as I'm clamping it and make sure it goes on straight, and that'll be it. As you can see, it's now new pulley is now on there, absolutely lovely. Okay, it's all pressed in, look, okay, it's going to be perfect to go back on the car. Sitting just as it needs to be, just prouder of the bearing, so nothing's going to be rubbing. I'm going to redo that timing mark so it's clear to see, put it back on, and off we go guys, beautiful. Right guys, I've just loosened off the tension a little bit, as you can see, for the cam belt to get this in. Now, I'll tighten it up again in a second, but although I'm going to be replacing this, so it doesn't really matter. But it is important, I'm going to leave it on there for now, it is important guys to make sure that this goes all the way back, because you might find it might sit like, if I just show you, it might sit a little bit like that, okay? You might not have the keys lined up, so you need to make sure the keys lined up, and once you feel it, it will slide in. And now I can feel it is rotating properly as it should, you can feel it, okay? Make sure it goes all the way in, make sure your timing mark's lined up, okay? Yeah, and you can, I'm going to retension this now, and then I'm going to begin to, I'm going to retension that, and then I'm going to begin to, what was I going to say? I've forgotten. I'm going to begin to put the bolt back in on that one there. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and where's it gone? Clean it up a little bit, nice grease on there so it comes out easier next time. Yeah, whoever wants to do it next doesn't have the fucking problem I had. So anyway, right, it started to rain, I'm just going to close this up for a second while I go and clean this up and whatnot. And I need to change this one out as well. Okay, I'll be changing this bearing out too. Right guys, the next thing we need to do is we need to change the bearing on this balancer shaft. As you can see, I don't know if you can hold this here and sort of see, it's very rough, very rough. You can hear, feel and literally knocking. Doesn't sound great, do need changing, okay. So you can hear that noise on there. So take that off, okay. So if I see if I can get some video. Circlip pliers, it's going to be hard to do, I hope it don't spring out and smash me in the face. I might guys need to, oh, just bent my pliers. Right, I'm going to need to put this down. I'll just finish a video here and I'll take a video when this is done. Right guys, the circlip's out, that's going to get my strong pliers here. And then what you want to do guys, I've already started knocking it out here. There, and then, just 1 second. Just come out now, okay? And then what we're going to do is just going to knock this one off and put the new bearing on here, okay? That's it. The opposite way. Right guys, then once you've got that, I've already pretty much knocked it out, but clamp around here, knock through there, push out, okay? New one's ready to go on, a little bit of grease might help it to go on, okay? Press that one on. I always like, don't know why, but I always like to see the writing, so I always put mine that side up. So I'm going to clean that, put it on, and get ready to assemble back on the car, okay? Right guys, all back together, circlips in, I just gave it another tap from the other end there, whilst resting on these two surfaces here, just to make sure, whilst resting on these two surfaces, sorry, here, we're sort of like a hard steel like block, just to make sure that's tapped in again through the front so it hasn't lose many vibrations. And yeah, that circlip's gone in first time, so that's ready to go back on the car. Spins nicely. Right guys, that is now done up and it's properly tight, properly tight. Again, so you Stilson's coming from here, jaws around here, Stilson's going that way pushing down, and the big 19mm I don't know what they're called here. I keep calling them box spanner. It's not a box spanner, it's whatever it is, like a crow spanner. This is an absolute beast, this one. Trust me. Yeah, that on it, my god, and I'm a strong guy in that. I've done it up nice and tight. So, and this is really copper greased as well. Greased going in, you know, it shouldn't seize up anymore. So now I'm going to release this tensioner off, put the new cam belt on, and yeah, away we go guys, away we go. Need to remove that pulley down the bottom there as well, which I'm going to do. Give me a moment, I'll pull that off. Right guys, all on, tensioned up and tightened. See the twist on that? Okay guys, it's not too much, right? I have stretched the belt out a bit as well from the tensioner. You can see that. Okay, I've got quite strong fingers, but I'm going to leave it a little bit tighter than what I feel it should be, because, you know, as you it feels good, you know. Actually feels nice, right? Don't want it too tight, overly tight, but I mean, as you know, when you turn it around, it will slack off a bit as well. So that is, I'll test it anyway, but that feels about right to me. Now I'm going to put the I've left this loose. Yep, just left that loose there. Okay, I'm going to put the balancer shaft belt on now. Okay, so I'm going to do that first after I put on that bottom pulley. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? What do I do with it? Down here, I think. And put that bottom pulley on there. Okay, and with my gun, guys, you need a gun for this, right? You need a gun. Yep, 22mm there. Right, left-handed thread. Put it on, and then I'm going to put it around the bottom pulley first, and then over this one, round here and around here. Okay, yep, let's get it done. Right guys, a little tip and trick: if you put these 2 bolts in, or put 2 bolts in, okay, yeah, just put them in. So pull this pulley back, yeah, before you put it on. Just wind 2 bolts in the holes where they need to go. Okay, obviously make sure it's marked up where it needs to be. Okay, yeah, as you can see, and then you should be able to push it on nice and flush, and that's on there now. Okay, so whilst that's in there, you want to get the bolt, which again is already greased up, as you can see, with Molly grease. Give me a second. And I'm going to wind the bolt in. Left-handed, remember. Left-handed thread. That should go in. Alright, I'm just going to wind that in before I put the gun on it. And then I'll nip it up by hand. And then just test the other holes afterwards, okay? So give me a second. All the way in. Sometimes it's hard to get all the way in. Actually, most of the time it's hard to get all the way in. I haven't been with too many baggies, to be fair. Right, wind these out because you won't be able to get the impact on there. Otherwise, look. Oh, yeah, it can't go, okay? So, wind them out. Out. Again, these are all going to be copper greased anyway, guys, alright? Wind out. Right, left-handy tight, yeah? Ugga duggers. Right, I just want to check they all line up. That one goes in, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. Otherwise you're going to have a problem, ain't you? That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, beautiful. Just going to go, this is on high power as well. Just another couple of ugga duggers. That's perfectly tight in there, guys, and that is 1600 newton meters of torque there. It's a bloody beast, so that is definitely in there tight. Alright, onto the balance shaft belt. Right guys, now the balance shaft belt is on. Just done that, it took me about 5 minutes to get it in the correct place. Check all your timing marks. Okay, that one down there, it is pointing at the right one. This one here, it is pointing at the right one. Okay, and this one down here, yep, it's pointing at the right one, and these two here, yeah, they're basically lined up. Okay, what I've done is I've just pushed over with my hand and just tightened it with my finger, just for now. Right, so what I'm going to do is, I've got a little pin like this, okay, a little pin, I'm going to stick it in that hole, in there, okay, in that hole, all the way, just in that much, okay. And what I'm going to do is I'll get a screwdriver, this one I'll do. Screwdriver in between there, and that should let me pull it to tension it. It's the only way I can think of doing it in a good way. Right, so as you can see, that is now moving that, right? Put tension on there. And I should still be able to get my socket on there to tighten it up. So that's what I'm going to do now, guys. Right guys, that balance shaft belt is now tensioned up. If you have a look at the tensioner down there, see how it's sitting. Where are we? Yeah, you can see it? Hard to see, but you can see where it's sort of sitting, yeah, just slightly to the right of whatever. This one here, good little bit of twist on there still. quite tight actually, if I'm being honest. I might have over tightened that one. Let's have a quick look how it feels like elsewhere. See about this that's end down here, how does that feel? Do you know what, guys, there is a bit of movement in that, so I'm going to leave it. I think that'll be alright, you know. Obviously it's a new belt, so it will slacken off a bit. I think that's fine. I think that is going to be fine, okay? I think that'll be fine. I think it feels good. We just have a move down here. See how it feels. Do you know what? I'm happy with that, guys. I'm happy with that. So that's good. This one, area of reference, and this one, thinner belt, obviously. Right, that's a good one. Yeah, I've tightened this up. It's nice and hand tight. Feels good. Do it as you gauge it. That's it, guys. Now we've got to put the pulley back on here, which is an absolute pain in the backside. I'll get it done. Right, guys, to get this wheel back on, and it does go on this way onto the engine. If you see, there's like a raised lip on this side here, on this side, which is the side's going to be facing you. Okay, so it's going to look like this when it's facing you. It needs to go on this way. Okay, so like that. All right. This pump has got a little bit further sticking out on it than the other pump, so I actually need to drop the engine mount on this and raise it up on the jack quite a bit to actually get this one in, which is what I'm going to do now. Bit of a pain in the backside, guys, but it needs to be done. Oh well, I'm going to do that now. Right, guys, so I've had a look, and to drop the engine mount, okay, what it looks like you need to do, because there's some bolts in here. I'll get underneath, give me a second. Alright, what it looks like there is the bolts in there. You can see them, not very accessible. There's one there, one on the other side, right? So what I'm going to need to do is unbolt this plate. 1, 2, 3. Lower this down on this arm here. Hopefully that'll lower out enough out of the way so I can get that engine mount loose, and then I'll jack the car up off the sump. So I'm going to support it first. So if we just okay, it's just supported there. Okay, that is now supporting. All right, I'll get that done and I'll come back. Guys, those whipped off in about 3 seconds flat. What you need is a gun, guys. Not the type you want to shoot your wife or ex-wife or, you know, neighbour's dog, cat, whatever you want with. I don't condone that at all. Just saying. Right, it's so covered in oil this is. So what you need to do is nothing, because there's so much oil on there, it's going to stop the car from rusting. So now I'm going to remove one and the other one over where can we see it? The other one over there, see? Okay, they look like 17s as well. So I'm going to get them with socket, 17 socket. And now this arm is, you know, it's out of the way. It's connected onto the hub there, okay? Lovely jubbly, pull it out of the way, you get something in there. Yeah, not that type of gun, guys, you need one of these, man. This is an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Love it. Easy work. Right, guys, with the engine jacked up nice and high on my little Jimmy bar, I've managed to get that in. Oh fuck, I've just made it. Okay, there it is. Excuse my language. It's actually a pain in the backside, this is. But I've managed to get it in. Alright. Now I'll show the engine jacked up nice and high. Okay, it's past there. Okay, I needed to use a Jimmy bar on that as well as I was jacking it up. I'm going to lower it down very, very slowly and jimmy it back across, okay? So it catches on this bolt here, so you need to jimmy it across as you're jacking it up to pass that bolt, okay? Right, let's get it cracking. I'm going to get them bolts on there now. Luckily I've got them here. A little bit of copper grease on these as well, or molly grease, and then they'll be all good. It's also important to note that once you put that back on again, it slips behind because this is threaded and it slips behind. This is not threaded, okay? This flange is not threaded, so it slips behind and sits behind, okay? So you need to do that. Just doing these hand tight for now, okay? Show you. Make sure you've got it with a washer, okay? With my little molly grease here, okay? Just dip the ends in there, get it nice and mollied up, see? Okay? And go in the hole. In the hole. Sexual. You can just turn it around. Do the next ones, okay? Oh, 1 second, camera's dirty. Right guys, engine mount is now all back on. Okay. The mounting plates again are all on, all bolted up nice and tight. Okay, car is all ready to go. I'm going to put this bottom pulley back on. That's what I'm going to do now. And the car is pretty much ready to go, guys. Like I said, it's ready to get put back together. And then I need to buy a pulley for this auxiliary belt tensioner, which I'm going to buy. That should probably come in the week or next week, and then it'll all be done. It'll all be done. But that is pretty much how to do the cam belt and water pump from start to finish on a Lancia Delta Integrale, with all the niggles sorted out. Just need to put the covers back on, obviously, and bits and bobs, but it's all good. It's all good, guys. All good. Right, guys. Another thing before we forget. Okay, what you want to do is you want to rotate it around a good few times. A good few times on the crank pulley, obviously counterclockwise, anti-clockwise. Make sure all the time marks line up again, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I'm going to get my 22 again, which I believe I've got out already, which is here. Should be my 22. That's my 19. That's not going to work. It's 22. Where's my 22? Before I put on this bottom pulley. So 22 should be on my gun. It's down there. And I get a little extension. That will do, to be fair. Anything will do at this point. Okay. On there. Just rotate it, guys. Just rotate it, and that's what we're going to do now. Okay. So I'm just going to leave this up here so you can see. 1 second, I'll do it up here. Hold on. Do it in such a way where it can be lifted. Okay, guys, I'm going to rotate it around the crank pulley. Okay, just going to keep rotating it. Fuck me, that is fucking tight, that is. Oh shit, it's in gear. What is in gear? No wonder why. And the fucking handbrake's on. Give me a second. Oh. Jesus Christ. I wonder why that was fucking tight. Right. Oh. That's better. It will get tight and loose, and it builds compression. Going around a few more. How's that looking? Let me have a look. Okay, keep going round. Right, guys, gone around quite a few times. Now we have a look. Timing mark. Timing mark. Timing mark pointing where it needs to be. That is looking roughly where it needs to be. It's looking a little bit off. Go around a few more times and see how that pans out, that one. But that looks to be on my tooth. That looks to be on there. Hopefully that'll be alright. I'll look down the bottom. Well, I've gone slightly past it actually, guys, so let me just go. 1 second. Oh, I haven't come up to it. 1 second. Hold up. It's about there. So look how that looks now. We'll soon know, won't we? Oh yeah, that is bang on now, guys. That is bang on. Okay. And this one down here, yeah, that one's bang on as well. And these ones are basically correct. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine, guys. Nothing to worry about. All right. I was a little worried there for a second, but it wasn't exactly on the. Perfect. Look at it. Perfect. Perfect. Need to check, guys. You just need to check. Okay. Make sure you go around a good few times, and then you can check the tension in the belt as well. That is feeling quite good. Again, this one, check it. Yeah, the tensions feel good, guys. Those tensions feel really good. I shouldn't really touch it with greasy hands, but I'll clean it afterwards. Alright, all good, all good. So you do a cam belt jobby and water pump on a Lancia Delta Integrale 8 valve. Right, not sure how similar it is to a 16 valve, but I have a 16 valve, and you see, guys, perfectly set up. Okay, take this off now. I'm going to put on this bottom pulley, which as it was raining, it's obviously got filled with water. But I'm going to clean this and then put this on. Okay, on there. Guys, I've just re-put back on this bit here because I don't know if you noticed in the video, I left that out like an idiot. I just found it. I was like, ah, shit. So I'll just re-put that bit back on and just retension the belt. Still good. Yep. Okay. As you can see, if you have a look at there, you can see how it's fitted exactly. If you can, yeah, that's it, guys. Guys, just plastic welded this, and had quite a lot of cracks in it, and repaired it, so that's ready to go on now. Cleaned up a little bit as well, make it look a little bit better. Dad's decided to get the air compressor out and blow it. Guys, bit of a pain in the backside, okay. This mount has got 2 slots in here. Now, I must tell you, those go around these 2 bolts here on the water pump, which I'm not fucking happy about, not happy about at all really. So I need to take off this pulley 10mm bolts, loosen this off, loosen those 2 off. I'm going to do it very, very carefully. The other 2 are pretty tight anyway, so it shouldn't break the seal. Fucking that's the plan. And yeah, then slot this on. I'm not happy, but that's the way it's got to be. Right guys, here it is. I've taken it off. Bolts are up there. Now these 2 should slide in there. That's the plan. This is an absolute pain in the freaking backside, but hopefully it'll be alright. So here it is, guys. It's now in place. I'm now going to tighten those back up. 13mm. Okay. Oh, it's made it super fucking tight. Cunt. Excuse my language. Excuse my French. This car, guys, if you're going to work on this car, don't. Alright? Give it to someone else. Fucking 3 days for a 1-day job. But I'm not paying someone money to do it, which is a bonus, and I do enjoy doing it, but this car has been a bit of a nightmare, to say the least. At the end. Right guys, I need to put the phone down to do these up, but basically sleeve then goes behind this one here. Okay, sleeve goes behind there, as you can see. Yeah, big bolt through and the other one through as well. Okay, all good. Right guys, after I repaired all this, I ended up cracking it again once, and I've just been really, really careful with it, and I've just got it on again now after I've repaired it again. So that was a pain in the backside. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there slowly. So guys, the Lancia is slowly coming back together. That job's all done. All that's left is just tensioner on here. All that's left is just a tensioner on here, which I need to get a new pulley for, and that is it. Pretty self-explanatory. A new belt obviously to go on. That's not going to be hard at all, guys. This is all tightened up now. I'll just go over here. I have found these tensioners, these bearings are not available anymore, but I have found a cross-reference part number that will replace this exactly like for like. So as you can hear, this one's knackered, guys. I don't know why I'm putting this one back on. I wouldn't put a new bearing, I wouldn't put an old bearing back on anyway. So yep, this I am going to what was I going to say? If you contact me, I can through my website, which is www.montaniracing.com. That's montani-racing.com. I can supply you with a replacement one of these. Right guys, finally back with a Delta after a long time. Managed to get one after all of that. Tanc Barrat. £120, that was discounted. It was £120. Auxiliary belt to go on, tension to go on there. Got the bolt there, you see, going on. Bit of grease, couldn't find my copper grease, so mod bed them will do fine. It's only something. And I'm also walking around the car here, guys. Just put a couple of stickers on the back. One from Tanc Barrat and one from Delta Works. Tanc Barrat one's on the inside, Delta Works one's on the outside. Quick look inside the car. Let's get cracking, guys. Let's get cracking. Guys, so literally I've just tucked the auxiliary belt on. It goes around all of the pulleys. This one, it goes all around the wheels, around the crank pulley. Goes round these two, the alternator and the power steering. Probably this is here. What's that one there then? Water pump, yeah. And then all you do, guys, you see this here? Where is it? This bit here. Just try and film it. Okay, look. Do that right. See that? Belt's up. All you do is you push it down, and then it should just stay in place like that. Push down. See that? Yeah, it's tucked in there now. And then you get the tension off. Tighten that up. 17mm. 2 bolts here. I'm going to put one in first, and I'll put the slider one in. So I'm going to put this one in first here. This one, and then I'll slide them in. Off we go. Right guys, I've just fitted on the auxiliary bolt tension bracket. As you can see down there, it's a bit awkward to get an eye on it, but as you can see it's there. Look, okay, 2 bolts there, one there and one just there. You can't really see it, okay. Just loosely fitted it with this wound out, okay, with this adjusting bolt wound out. You have to fit this on with the pulley on from underneath. You have to slide it up in between here. As you can just see the bottom of it. Slide up in between the two. Hold it. Difficult to do with only one pair of hands, but I managed to do holding it on bottom and reaching it on the top and putting the bolt in at the same time. It is a right pain in the backside to get to, but that's done anyway. So I've done that. Now obviously as you wind it out, this comes up. Yeah, it comes up. So what needs to happen is, just trying to think now, that pushes it up, doesn't it? Tensions it upwards. So which way is the belt going to go? Have a think about that. I'll get it on there in a second and I'll have a think about it. Pushes it up. Okay, so on the bottom two, okay, so the belt's going to go across the top of these two, around the bottom two, and then up over this pulley, because that's going to tension it upwards. That's what's going to happen. Right, I'll show you in a second. Right guys, as you can see, okay, the belt came like this. Okay, the belt actually came like this. It's brand new, but not the fastest brand new belt. So basically, as you can see, guys, it's around this top pulley, which is water pump, around the bottom pulley, which is the crank pulley, as you can see, going all the way down there, over the power steering pulley, down along on the alternator pulley, then it comes up. You see down there, guys, if you can see it. Let me just try and get my phone in there. Hold on. You can sort of see it. Okay, there we go. Comes up, guys. Okay, over the tensioner pulley. Now I need to tension. Where's it got? This bolt here, this one, by screwing it in, and then I'll tighten up those 2 bolts there. You can see 1, 2. Okay, and that'll be done. Right guys, just putting the car back together. Okay, my friend John over at Hosequip has put together these custom fittings here on these, so I can literally just remove the oil cooler without removing the lines if I want to. The old original hoses were perished, so he's made these custom lines for me. I put on a new genuine OEM oil filter, tightened these down here. As you can see, there's good clearance everywhere, not going to hit or knock. This one's fine, this one doesn't need changing. So yeah, now we're just getting ready to put everything back on and back together. Right guys, the aluminium shroud I bought 4 Lancia Delta Integrale. Clearly did not work, so I had to cut them off. Cut them tabs off. I've made out of some aluminium angle, top riveted all the way along, bolted through, nice and tight. Make sure all the fixings are tight. The original fan draws a lot of power, and it had a sort of like a resistor on it. So I've properly stripped them back. I'm going to use the original plugs, but instead the switch when it gets switched over and it goes through the so it still gets switched over from the thermostat, and then when it goes through the resistor, it will basically just bypass the resistor. What I've done here, so that will run this new fan, which is obviously draws a lot less power. It's a lot lighter, be a nicer fan. So I'm ready to put this on the car. Oil cool lines are on, and we're going to be away in a second. Put reg plate on that. There we go. It's looking beautiful. We're going to start putting this on. Guys, all the wires are connected up. I need to probably cable tie this one out of the way somewhere. I'm going to cable tie up here just so it's out of the way. Put a hold of something, and that one cable tie out of the way. The new hydraulic hoses are on. The oil cooler lines. If I just show you from here. It's all on, bolted all on. It's looking good. So yeah, it's all good. Front bumper's on. I'll put the indicators and the fog lights and things on. Batteries in. Just to show you, terminals do reach. And the other negative terminals down here. That will reach. It's back as it should. That looks really nice in that aluminium fan. Came out right in the end with little brackets we made up. It's coming along, everything's bolted in nicely. All the hoses are all nice and tight, so I just need to do the oil change. I'll probably do oil change tomorrow morning and then get it on the road. Take it for a drive. At long last. Beautiful.